Welcome to Holly's Racing Fantasy. This is your hotspot for weekly NASCAR Cup Series race recaps, latest news, and of course, fantasy picks for the upcoming race. And now, here's your host and the voice of Holly's Racing Fantasy.
So, John.
Yeah, Holly.
I don't know about you.
What's that?
But I enjoyed the Quaker State 400 available at Walmart race.
It was a good race.
You know what?
Yeah.
It was exciting.
Yeah.
As exciting as can be.
Yeah.
Especially compared to the last two snooze fests.
Yeah.
Until the end. But this one was pretty much go from the beginning.
It was.
I was pretty excited about it.
Yeah, it was good.
You know, Atlanta is like a race is like a super speedway now, you know?
Well, yeah.
So
that's what kept it so much more interesting.
It was craziness. And here is the deal.
Okay.
Joey Logano won.
Joey. I was going to wear my Joey Logano hat, but it's too big.
Yeah, I know. Your head shrunk.
My head shrunk.
Joey Logano advances to the next round of the playoffs.
Wow.
Which is crazy because in our fantasy league, Jack was like, Joey Logano. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
And you and I were like, ooh. But then we didn't pick him.
Yeah.
But he won. And that's 2 weeks in a row that Jack is the only person in our fantasy league to pick someone who actually won the race.
Yeah, but anybody wants lottery numbers, you know.
Oh my God. That's what I asked him. I go, Jack,
You want to think about that.
give me like 6 numbers. And he goes, oh, I can't do that. That's too much pressure. I'm like, okay.
All right, well.
I know, strange.
Yeah.
Okay, let me run it down quick.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Logano first. Daniel Suarez came in second.
Okay.
Ryan Blaney third. Christopher Bell fourth. Alex Bowman fifth. Tyler Reddick sixth. Kyle Busch seventh. Chase Elliott 8. William Byron 9. And Austin Cindric rounds out the top 10 in Atlanta.
Wow.
And that was the end of that.
Okay.
Now, Kyle Larson had a pretty scary... Kyle Larson was cruising along, and I really thought, man, this guy's probably going to win today.
Yeah.
Until all of a sudden, something... I can't remember if something broke or if he got flat.
They weren't quite sure at the time we were watching it.
Yeah, they weren't quite saying. I'll see if I can run it down here in the results, but all of a sudden, that was it. Bam!
Yeah.
And he hit the wall, and that was a violent hit.
It was a violent hit.
And I thought, oof.
I got my fan on still.
Man, do you have your fan on?
Yeah, it's okay.
Do you want to turn it down?
Yeah, I'm just going to turn it on. It's blowing in my face and drying me out. So
Ignore the beep.
ignore the beep.
But so he here's the thing. Unfortunately, Chase Briscoe hit him. But we were saying during the race, it was kind of like, remember in Austin Powers when he's like, no, and then the big wheelie thing is coming at him, the steamroller, and it's like moving like 2 miles a minute. And he's like, no. And then he's like, and that's kind of what it was with Chase Briscoe. Like everybody went around Kyle Larson.
Yeah.
And it seemed like, everybody would clear him, but, bam.
Yeah.
Chase Briscoe runs into him. And I feel kind of, like maybe that could have been avoided. But who am I to say? I don't race on the track and I'm not a spotter.
I know, but
I would blame
seems like
the
that'd be on the spotter.
I think that, that's what I mean. I think it would be on the spotter as not Briscoe because that's kind of weird. But you know what was crazy? And Martin Truex Jr. suspension went.
Yep.
GC.
Anything else, Martin?
God.
Anything else you need to go around?
And Chris Buescher was in an accident, so that was the end of that. Which, of course, he wasn't in. He's not in contention anyway.
No.
But so it was a crazy. That top 10 lineup was kind of crazy, but it was like really the hot people were Ryan Blaney was hot all day.
Yeah.
Alex Bowman was hot all day.
Yeah.
Christopher Bell was pretty good. He had a penalty, he overcame that.
Yeah.
Kyle Busch looked great. There was a time when I thought Ross Chastain might get up there, but then he hit the wall. Mm-hmm. And then he, hit somebody. I can't remember who right off the top of my head. I'm trying to do this all by memory. So it was kind of like back and forth. A lot of people. Denny Hamlin stayed in his trailer all day.
Yeah.
No, I don't mean that. I love Denny. And we all know.
He stayed in the back all day.
He stayed in the back. As anybody who knows Denny Hamlin, a lot of times at the super speedways, he stays in the back
Lets
for
everybody
a lot
crash.
of the race.
Yeah.
Lets everything else crash in front of him.
Yeah.
John told me this week not to wave my hands around, and here I am. I'm trying not to.
I'm watching you. Stop waving your hands.
You can see me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm holding my core steady while I move my hands. So Denny stayed in the back, but then he kept staying in the back. And then he still stayed in the back. And by the time, I don't know what the game plan was, he missed out and got 0 stage points. He wasn't up there for any of the stages.
No.
And then he didn't finish. He finished, where is he? I don't know.
Like not good.
24th. He finished 24th.
24th.
So I don't know what happened there, but he's going to have to up his game. I mean,
Big time.
He is good in Watkins Glen.
Yeah.
So there's not, I believe he can get some stages as long as he qualifies well.
Yeah.
So
it all relies on qualifying there.
But he did get in there was a wreck, avoiding the wrecks all day until the last lap when he got caught up in the wreck.
Right.
So he's only 2 points above the cutoff line going into Watkins Glen.
Isn't it unbelievable how the season starts? Well, the playoffs start.
Right.
And and even Kevin Harvick picked Denny to be a favorite.
I mean,
and already he's like,
is it early
to the bottom?
Is it early yet? It could be.
Yeah.
Chase Briscoe made a comment. No, now I've got to win it to get in it. But honestly, looking at the standings here, that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
Chase Briscoe, I mean, he is at the bottom. Let's go to the playoffs. Chase Briscoe is 21 points below the cutoff, but that can change in an instant.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to win to get in.
No.
He can get stage points and I mean, maybe, finish well. And because we see all kinds of crazy things happen. Ty Gibbs is only 1 point above the cutoff line and Denny's only 2.
Right.
And it's tight.
Yeah.
It's tight. So, and you can see the ticker. I'm sure you can see the ticker that gives you. I'm not going to go into the standings because I repeat myself.
No.
But I will,
Interesting
I will
fact
say
about the win.
What's that?
For Joey Logano.
What about it?
He lived at the track.
He did. They said that he lived at the track. I just moved my chair. Sorry. They said that he lived at the track. Right. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't grasp what he was talking about, but there's condos above the track.
Yeah.
Like there. Yeah. Like, I'm going to wake up and have my coffee and look out over Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd live there. I would live there. I wonder how much they cost.
Yeah, you should look it up.
I should.
Mm-hmm.
I probably
call the track and see if
call the track. Can I move in?
Yeah.
Probably way too much money.
I imagine.
But I do want to say, going back to Larson's wreck, thank God for those safer barriers. Thank God for everything that NASCAR has done to protect the drivers over the years, because boy, that could have been a mess.
Yeah.
What else do we want to talk about with the race? What can you think of? Was there anything else?
A lot of speed.
A lot of speed.
A lot of close calls.
A lot of close calls.
Even though there were some wrecks, but there was a lot of it was just pretty exciting watching people at that speed, changing lanes. And,
it really was exciting. There were times I was like, Sonny from The Godfather, because it's nerve wracking. And you know what I hate when they show you're behind the wheel, as if you're in the car.
Yeah.
I can't stand that.
Yeah.
When I'm on the highway, if I'm not driving, I maintain a safe distance between vehicles, as do you. But if I'm driving with somebody else who doesn't, I want to crap my pants.
Yeah.
I remember going down to Delaware once for a training when I worked in another life when I was in corporate, insurance. And I had to go down to Delaware from New York for a training. And we were on the turnpike. And this guy that I worked with was driving because they were sexist. And they said, oh, the man should drive, whatever. And I had to look out the window. I couldn't even go out to dinner that night. I was like, no, I need to stay in my room and eat a peanut butter and jelly because he drove on the bumper of the person in front of you. And you know what? It's not NASCAR.
No.
And we're going 80.
Yeah.
Man. Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't want to segue into personal things, but that's the thing on this track. You can't, I can't look,
Yep.
So, nobody is really safe. I don't want to say anybody's going in with a comfortable lead other than Joey Logano.
Right.
I mean, Ryan Blaney, maybe he's 45 points to the good.
Yeah.
But I mean.
And Ryan Blaney really helped Joey Logano that,
he did.
Get the win.
Those Penske boys work together really nice. They really do.
And,
he
and
pushed
what
him.
about Suarez? He was right there.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, who would have thought?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
He's contending. He's
number 9. He's above Kyle Larson in the playoff points.
There you go.
I know. Yeah. I know. Do not sleep on this guy. Do not sleep on the Suarez.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a couple things I want to go over. I need to make a correction from last week. before we get to NASCAR news. Okay, last week we were talking about Cliff Daniels.
Yeah.
Okay, because you know what? I don't claim to be, can I look at a driver's number and know who's in the car? I can.
Yeah.
Can I remember some of the crew chiefs? I can.
Yeah.
But, I know Cliff Daniels, you said Daniels and I said Cliff Daniels, but he's not Kyle Busch's or Christopher Bell's crew chief.
No.
That's Adam Stevens.
Adam Stevens.
But you know what? Sometimes you get these
I'm the
names.
one who said it, though.
It is. That's okay.
And I don't claim to know anything. I'm just like the
this
side
is true.
chick, so.
He does. He does not claim.
I just watch the race and have fun.
And I'm just like, oh yeah, that name sounds familiar, and I'm going to grab onto that. And okay, but let me tell you about Cliff Daniels. He was a race engineer for like Stuart Haas, and different organizations, and Hendricks.
Yeah.
And then he became Jimmy Johnson's crew chief in the middle of 2019. And then he was his crew chief for 2020 for his final year. And then he's been with Larson ever since.
Gotcha.
When Jimmy retired, he went with Larson.
Okay.
So what we met was Adam Stevens, who was with Kyle Busch from 2013 to 2020 over at Gibbs.
Yeah.
And then in 2021, he moved to Christopher Bell.
Yep.
And that's who we met.
Yeah.
But sometimes the names are so interchangeable. You're just like, oh, yeah.
And you know that name, like Adam Stevens. Cliff
right. Well, aren't they
Daniels.
kind of like, that's like Jim Johnson.
Yeah.
Adam Stevens, Jimmy Johnson.
Jim Johnson.
Cliff Daniels. It's not like Booty Barker. I mean, you know who Booty Barker is, crew chief, or, Rudy Fugel. You know those names because they're just like, oh, yeah. They're unique and they,
Right. Rudy Fugel works with Kyle Larson. Just kidding.
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
You're very funny.
Mm-hmm.
I do want you to know that.
I tried to be.
But so
yeah.
Now you've thrown me off because now I'm like, all right. So anyway, so that's that.
I didn't mean to.
That's okay. It's funny.
Okay.
Real quick, I do want to mention that we're recording on Wednesday, September 11th.
Yep.
So I do want to give a quick, remembrance.
Of course.
To September 11th.
Yeah. I remember where I was.
I remember where I was too.
Do you? Are you sure?
Yeah.
You positive?
I do.
Okay. All right.
It's because it's all fun and games and we're having a good time.
Yeah.
But it's every year we reflect on it.
Yeah.
We
used to watch all those the horrible specials.
We did
But
every year.
Yeah.
Up until like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Now we don't really.
Yeah. It was.
Sometimes
it becomes a little overwhelming.
It does become overwhelming,
especially when they come up with like new creepy videos and they AI the AI like make them more vivid, and you're like, wow, I didn't realize
they enhance them.
That's what I meant to say. Yeah, it's not like I know what I'm talking about.
No, I know what you meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like horrible.
It's hard because it's 23 years, and you and I have been, they were saying today on the K show that there are people obviously that listen to shows and that are alive and were not alive when this happened, and they're in they're like 20 years old and they were not born yet, or maybe they were in kindergarten, and people who weren't really here to see it live. But it's like you and I were of age when it happened, and it's when you're that much older and you remember it so vividly.
I remember when they closed the schools because I was working for the school district at that time.
You were.
And when we were driving, it was like you were looking up in the sky, like, because you didn't know. There could have been more planes up there. People didn't know who was, if all the planes were going to start coming down out of the sky. I mean, it was like insane.
Yeah.
And
and my mom lived in Virginia at the time, and she was driving from Virginia to upstate New York on the road that day. She just happened to leave early in the morning, and she was just heard it on the radio and just listened to the radio the whole way up, thinking, "Oh my God, what is happening?"
Yeah.
And I was working again at the insurance.
Well, think about it. When she was coming up Interstate 81 there through Pennsylvania, she drove right by the one plane that hit in Shanksville. Yeah. She drove like 20 minutes.
It's true.
Right past it.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I was working at corporate insurance, as previously mentioned.
Yeah.
And they never closed, and we closed.
Yeah.
We went home early.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. And I heard it. I was taking fire marshal training. Believe it or not, I was like assistant fire marshal for my department. And we were like learning.
She had to wear like a fire helmet and carry a hose around.
Oh, Lord. And we were learning how to, let off, do the fire extinguishers. And we're like, okay, out in the parking lot. And we were all huddled around the radio when we came back in. And the moment we came back in was the moment that the first tower fell.
Wow.
And it was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
We could go on and on about this. This could be a whole show.
Yeah.
Maybe next year we'll have separate shows.
Yeah.
Holly's NASCAR Fantasy Reflects.
Yeah. on horrible things.
On horrible things. On 9/11.
We'll just go through every horrible thing.
We
we'll
will.
Just reflect on it.
Holly,
We'll try to make you feel better.
we will. So, God forbid anything like that ever happens again. But, the world is a nut place, nut down place. And all I can do is try to bring you a little happiness through NASCAR.
Yep.
So I think we can move on to NASCAR news, right?
Let's do it. Let's go to the news.
All right. So Kyle Larson announced he's doing the double next year. 5/25/25.
Wow.
I know. He's going to do the Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600.
If anyone can do it.
If anyone can do it, it's that guy. My God. Yeah. It's definitely going to be. Let's pray that it doesn't rain because I really want to see this excitement.
Yeah.
There's something fun and I want it to rain.
Right.
It always rains when fun things are going to happen.
Yeah, it always does.
No matter where you live.
Especially in the South.
Especially in the South and
all it does is rain down here.
It's been a summer of rain.
Yeah, I think it's been raining everywhere, right?
I do too. Most of the NASCAR news.
We're getting in the playoff season.
It's playoff season.
So the news is not. Well, I got a little bit of news.
Oh, please do.
Jimmy Johnson wrecked a $2.5 million car on a practice run at a Bentley race.
God, and was it an Aston Martin?
Yeah, it was like.
Ouch.
It's like, wow, who pays for that?
Who pays for that?
Who pays for that? I want to know.
Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, obviously, I don't know.
No, do they not care?
I don't
Are they
know.
like, this is a 7-time NASCAR champ.
Yeah,
Jimmy Johnson, what do we care?
Maybe they get Jimmy Johnson behind a wheel. I doubt he pays for it.
I'm surprised though.
Yeah?
I still am. I'm still surprised that he on a practice.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's scary.
Yeah.
Them's expensive cars.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Going to Watkins Glen this week is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Let me see if there's any other NASCAR news. I never really put much in here. I did want to look at the paint schemes because Todd Gilliland. Oh, Todd Gilliland was another one who did really well this past week until he didn't.
Yeah.
Todd Gilliland is driving a car that it's for drunken jerky. I can't find it. It's for drunken jerky. I don't know what that means.
Drunken jerky.
Yeah, like beef jerky that's got maybe
Sounds
it's got
like
booze in it.
Some people, when they drink, they just become drunken jerkies.
That is very true.
Yeah.
It's
drunken turkeys. No. That sounds like a fun video game. What are you guys playing? Pac-Man? No, we're playing drunken turkeys.
We're playing drunken turkeys. That would be fun, actually.
Like you're a turkey and you drink like some bourbon or something.
Oh my God,
you find
right?
it like a bourbon or corn. Doesn't corn turn into like alcohol?
Oh, right, like fermented corn.
Like fermented corn.
That would be funny.
All right,
but anyway,
don't steal that, people. That's my idea.
Someone will steal it. Someone always does.
Just kidding. Yeah.
But it's a drunk. Maybe I could find it on the Facebook page. It's a drunken jerky, and it's a cow. But I think there's like beef jerky with like alcohol, something to that effect, right?
Yeah.
And the cow has like X's over his eyes and his tongue hanging out, like he's drunk.
Okay.
It's on the hood.
That could be me.
Yeah. So keep an eye out for the drunken jerky.
I'm drunk. Moo.
I wonder if this is real.
Must be beef then.
Well, yeah, it is. It is definitely beef.
It's not like turkey.
No.
So if it's got a drunk cow
you're
on
getting
it.
confused with the drunken. Okay, listen. Okay, you want to hear something funny? Here's some breaking news. Ross Chastain has shaved.
Wow.
I know.
That's good.
I know.
Yeah.
Did he shave before Atlanta? I don't know. Maybe it's not breaking news.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. Now he looks like a totally different person. He looks like Eric Almirola.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, yeah. I'm trying to just kind of see what's what.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
There's not too much news.
There's really not too much news. That's like I'm trying to scroll through here. All of the NASCAR teams, which is pretty much why I wanted to make sure I acknowledge 9/11. They're all posting.
Yeah.
Never forget.
I'm glad they are.
I am too.
It's a sad day.
It is. All right. So, we're heading up to upstate New York. Originally, we had hoped to go to this race.
Yeah.
But life had other plans. Maybe next year.
No.
You know what? It's going to be in August next year, and we're trying to get up to upstate New York next year in August. So,
yeah.
Hey, maybe. Yeah. So should we move on to who do you like and why?
Yeah. I think so. I think we're ready.
I think so too. It's 4:50 in the big city. I want to get out of here. There's not too much to go over this week.
Yeah.
I can't go on and on like I did last week.
Yeah.
And
That's okay.
Let's go to who you like and why. Which I posted early, but I didn't get much feedback.
Okay. Well, let's go see.
All right.
All right, let's go.
Right, okay.
All right.
I can't dance
Yeah.
because I don't want to move my chair.
Yeah, because we're trying a new green screen technique.
We're trying a new green screen that's attached to my chair. Yee! So we'll see how this looks. So if it looks shitey behind me, sorry, and we'll figure out something better for next time.
Yeah.
We're always experimenting here at HRF.
Yeah. We're
okay.
like the Jordan shop. You know, we have all these millions, so we're just,
We do. We're rolling in it.
We're rolling.
We're making it rain.
Yeah.
Making it rain
Yeah.
here. Yeah, right. Okay, so Rose like Chase Elliott because he's a 7-time road course winner with good success at this track.
Yeah.
Scott,
Good pick.
it's a good pick. Scott Curlis, 4893, said something that is very, very true. And his first sentence going into his list of different drivers that he likes. Until practice and qualifying, this is a difficult decision as to who will win this week.
Because that matters.
And he could not be more spot on.
Yeah.
But he said if he had to pick one driver, he's going to go with Christopher Bell.
Yeah.
So 2 good picks this week
Yeah.
from 2 good followers
Yeah.
who are always a pleasure to see.
Yeah.
You know what? If this was my job, let's say I didn't have the real job. Let's say I didn't have to sit 8 hours a day
And
at a
take care of
computer.
me.
And if I,
Take care of the boys, me and Jack.
right, I'm taking care of the boys. I'm doing the 9 to 5. And if I didn't have to do the 9 to 5, like if I won a lottery, I'm gonna do a scratch off. I swear to God. If I won money and I could do this all day as my job,
Right.
do like the NASCAR fantasy and have like a gluten-free bakery and go back to my like autism page where I talk about parenting a child with autism, life would be so much sweeter.
Yeah. You never know.
You never know. Well, isn't that what they used to say in New York?
Yeah.
Hey, $1 and a dream. Hey, you never
Hey,
know.
you never know.
Okay, so now I guess I'm going to move on to. Okay, so everybody now you're listening, need you to go down to the bottom of this video and give me the picks. Give me your picks for the next race, which is at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Bristol.
If you want Bristol for September 21st, go and pick it.
Yep.
And I promise I'll put it up on Facebook. I've been doing really good with that on Monday night. Go on Facebook when I say who you like for Bristol.
That sounds
Just
good.
don't forget. Just tell me who you like and why. And now
I think your picks are coming up next.
My picks are next.
Okay.
Right.
While fantasy sports betting can be fun, gambling can be a serious issue. If you or someone you know has a gambling addiction and wants help, call or text the National Problem Gambling Hotline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER. Standard text and data rates do apply. You can also visit them online at ncpgambling.org.
Here are my NASCAR Cup Series fantasy picks for the Go Bowling at the Glen at Watkins Glen International this Sunday. First up is a no-brainer, and that is Chase Elliott. Okay, last year he didn't do so well. Forgive him. Every year before that, excellent. Expect the number 9 to come out on top, swinging and getting his way into the next round at Watkins Glen. 2 wins here. Next up is Christopher Bell. Let me tell you something about Christopher Bell. He's sneaky. Everybody counts him out. And not that they don't count him, they just don't count him in. It's like people forget about Christopher Bell and he flies under the radar unnoticed until he kicks you in the throat and ends up in the Final Four. And you're like, what? So this is where the championship runs begins for the 24. You watch. He does not have a win here yet, but he's been consistently good. Consistently in top 5 and 10. Last but not least, Tyler Reddick. I know he doesn't have a win here or a top 5, but all 3 times he's been here has been top 10. And he's just really, I don't know, something about Reddick. He's turned it on. He's the regular season champ. And I just feel like he's on fire. I mean, even as many times as he fell back last week, he got right back up there. So smart pick, Tyler Reddick this week at the Glen. Let me go with my bold picks, okay? Are you ready? Ready? Okay, the dinger. AJ Allmendinger, come on. How can you not pick AJ Allmendinger for Watkins Glen? That is absolutely, you will expect a top 5, if not a win for this guy. This is last year in Xfinity, coming back to the Cup next year. You watch. It's got one win here, 5 top 5s, and 8 top 10s. Come on. Next up, Shane Van Gisbergen. That's right. I don't know where he's going to qualify, though. So if he qualifies pretty decent, go for it, man. He's the guy's a road course master. He's my wild card. And I think, stays out of trouble. If he can hang on to everything and not get crazy, take a chance. Last but not least, and I swear this is a bold pick because something happens every week. There's a gremlin that gets in Martin Truex Jr.'s car. I know I didn't say the name until just now. Gets in the car, strikes him down. But if he could exercise that demon this week, he's probably got the best chance. Because he needs it. He needs it the most, and he's really good here. He's got 7 top 5 finishes and 11 top 10s. Come on, Martin Truex Jr. I'm going to give an honorable mention, and then I'm going to mention a couple of things before I'm done with my picks. I'm going to give an honorable mention to Juan Pablo Montoya. Because you know what? He loves the new car. He loves it. He enjoys it. He's been practicing. He's been trying to get up to speed. See what I did there? For the road course, he's racing for 23:11, so he's going to be in a good car. And again, this is barring the qualifying. But if he's anywhere up there, top 11, 12, set your sights on Juan Pablo Montoya. I want to clarify before anything else. Did I say Kyle Larson? No, I didn't. Why? Because I'm sick of the Larson. I'm not going to say Kyle Larson every single week because that's a no-brainer, especially at Watkins Glen. Please. And by this time in fantasy, everybody's picked Kyle Larson as many times as they could probably pick him. But, that's an obvious. I'm not going to say Denny Hamlin either. Same thing. He's really good in Watkins Glen. So there will be drivers through the rest of the season. Will I say Kyle Larson again? I may when push comes to shove and we're getting closer to the end of the year. But for right now, there's some drivers that I may not mention. Doesn't mean they're not going to do very well. Doesn't mean I don't believe in them. It's just that I need to give you guys some variety. So that's what we have. So let me give you the rundown real quick. Tyler Reddick, Christopher Bell, and Chase Elliott are my brilliant picks. AJ Allmendinger, Martin Truex Jr., and Shane Van Gisbergen are my bold picks. And honorable mention goes to Juan Pablo Montoya this week. So enjoy it. Have a good time. We'll see who advances to the next round. Those are my NASCAR fantasy picks for Go Bowling at the Glen, and I'm sticking to them.
Interact with Holly's Racing Fantasy on YouTube or Facebook. Just search Holly's Racing Fantasy on each to find us. And don't forget to tell us who you like and why every Wednesday before each race. You can comment on the current HRF episode on YouTube or reply to my Monday night post on Facebook. Thanks!
That's the show.
That is our show for this week.
It is. Believe it or not, it's 5 o'clock in the big city.
There you go.
I want to run down everybody. Again, we are a USA vehicle this weekend. The Watkins Glen Go Bowling at the Glen practice is at 11:30 a.m. Eastern on Saturday, USA Network.
Okay.
Qualifying is at 1 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, and that is also on USA.
Okay.
I say to myself, how can I get out of things that I have scheduled on Saturday to watch qualifying? But you know what? Maybe I can DVR it.
Oh, yeah.
That DVR thing is really catching on.
Yeah, it's a new thing.
I think
you could record live TV.
Yeah, it's a newfangled thing so you can go have a life.
Did that come out like in circuits when they? Well,
many years ago. Right?
Ago.
Oh, many.
Well, there was a famous one. The name for it, what was it?
The DVR?
Yeah, it had its own thing running for quite a while. Everyone, did you do this to it?
Oh,
do you remember that name? It's not like Sling, but it was kind of like that.
No, I forget. I wasn't that technologically advanced.
Yeah.
And the Go Bowling at the Glen is 3 o'clock on Sunday.
Okay.
And that's also on USA.
Yeah.
I also want to mention my hair last week, and last week's episode looked absolutely hideous.
Are you going to apologize for that?
I'm going to apologize for looking like a Rikishi from the WWE.
You know what happened
coming
last
in
week?
What happened?
It really looked good. What do you think of my hair? I'm like, oh, it looks really good.
Right, and I had
all of a sudden it went flat.
And it was cute, and then it went flat. It's probably flat now.
Yeah.
It's flatter than it was.
Your hair kind of goes flat.
I have a weird. I hate my hair, but I try and do something. All right, no, I don't hate it, but it's just never. It's not full and lush.
You want to punch your hair in the face?
Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
It's never been full and lush.
Right. Well,
I look at the girl that does the news locally down here in Wilmington, and she's got gorgeous hair and gorgeous makeup. She looks like she should be on like New York City news, and she's here in humble Wilmington. And I'm like, but beautiful lady, probably younger than me, I guess. Yeah. I lose track of how old I am. Yeah. I feel like I'm still young. I feel like I'm still in like my 25-year-old body. Yeah. And here I am, an old woman.
So you go to walk down the hall, and it's like, oh, I'm not as young now.
Or you get up and like 5 million different bones. Your knee, your ankle, and your back cracks when you're trying.
Crack, crack, crack.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Right. Or you go to the dentist for a cleaning and she's like, oh my gosh, you have a really dry mouth and it's causing like cavities at your gum line.
You need a $26 toothpaste.
And you need a $26 dry mouth toothpaste. And we usually see this in like people who are getting like radiation therapy. Yeah. But then I realized, let's see, I'm going through, there's menopause, there's statin use, there's thyroid nodules. I've got 5,000 old woman dilemmas going against me to cause dry mouth. Yeah. God, I need a week at a spa. Yeah. Especially after the summer. I would love a week at just like a place where they like feed you like healthy foods and you can float in a salt bath and you can just like sit and
can you fart in a salt bath too?
You can. You can fart in a salt bath. Wow. I know. Wouldn't that be exciting? Football started this week. Yeah. Wasn't that exciting and fun? We started watching Thursday.
It was.
I'm sitting here on Tuesday going, oh my God, I got to wait 2 more nights for football.
I know.
I'm sorry, but I love having football on Thursday, Monday, and Sunday.
You get greedy for it.
You get greedy.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
And our old team there, the New York Giants, did exceptionally well this week. Exceptional. Wait, wrong. Sorry.
Exceptionally hideous.
That was the wrong E. Embarrassment. Yeah, embarrassment. Yeah.
Yes.
They were an embarrassment.
Yeah. The New York Jets weren't much better. Yeah. Although Aaron Rodgers didn't look too bad.
And they played like the hardest team, like the NFC champions.
They did. They
for
did.
coming up for the first time in San Francisco.
Yeah. I don't worry about the Jets as much as I worry about the Giants. Yeah. And the Buffalo Bills came back and did well.
Yep.
And the Carolina Panthers are
hideous.
Absolutely hideous. Yeah. But it's early yet.
We might not even have a team if they keep playing. Like, you might see the team go somewhere else.
Oh my Lord.
That'd
no kidding. That would be horribly sad. They better get moving.
Yeah.
And then Thursday night football, which is tomorrow night, which by the time you hear this, it'll be over. But it's the Dolphins and the Bills, which is really exciting because I love me some Tua. Yeah. Tua Halova.
I like Tua, but I also like Superman too.
Yeah.
It's the Buffalo Bills. I like Tua.
Oh, is that what they call Josh Allen?
Yeah. Oh. Superman, who might be hurt though. I don't know. He landed on his hand.
Right, he might be hurt, and Jordan Love from Green Bay might be hurt because he was getting that calf massage. Yeah. No, he is hurt. Yeah. No, he's out for a few weeks. Yeah. And the funny thing is they said Green Bay did not expect to need a backup. Honey, this is 2024.
Yeah, how could you not have a backup?
Every quarterback better have a really good backup because these days they all get they all get hurt.
They're a bunch of wimps.
Yeah, this is my favorite time of year because NASCAR, football, baseball's going on. Yeah. And you know what? The NBA preseason starts in a couple of weeks. Yeah. It's a beautiful time.
It's a wonderful time for sports lovers.
It's the most. Well, actually, it's 3 weeks. Wonderful time
for sport lovers.
For sport lovers. Yeah. All right. I keep getting like fuzzies flying in my mouth.
Hey, you know what else we forgot to mention?
Please.
Real quick here.
Let's mention.
Denny, a team 2311 and Trackhouse did not sign their charter agreements.
That's right. So good for you to remember that.
Not that we don't know really, we're not sure what's going on. They just think NASCAR is being unfair, but NASCAR said, hey, you got to sign this by Friday night. And Jordan and Denny and Trackhouse were like, yeah, right.
Yeah, right. No, we're not.
Yeah.
Because it's like we don't have enough information and we need to know more before we go off and sign these charters.
So like 2031.
Yeah.
So it's like, if we're going to sign our life away,
Hopefully they resolve that.
I know.
But you know what? Wouldn't that just be like Michael Jordan and Pitbull to go out there and like start their own like racing organization?
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
But
that's why they didn't sign it because it's Michael Jordan and Pitbull and they're music industry and other sports they didn't fall off the turnip truck.
And then he said in fair practice they want to make sure that it's that their NASCAR is keeping up on keeping things right and fair.
Yes,
and all
exactly.
This stuff. And,
Exactly.
Yeah. Which, I mean, they're doing okay,
Yeah, they're doing all
They're doing
right.
all right, but there's some questionable things out there.
There are some
That's a
questionable
whole
things
other
out
hour,
there. That is a whole other hour.
But, I just wanted to bring that up real quick.
I like that. I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
I'm having a hot flash. So just in case anybody's,
Yeah.
in case anybody's wondering why I'm like a church fan.
Church fan.
Why I do declare, I do need me a church fan.
Yes, you do.
I do need a church fan.
You're wearing
so
your
I can
camo today. You going to go hunting later? Good.
I am wearing my camo today. I almost didn't wear it.
You could take your cat and go duck hunting.
I could.
Because your cat's a freaking dog anyways.
He is like a pointer.
Just send him out in the lake and...
He would. He except for he'd eat it.
Yeah, he'd eat it on the way back.
He would. He'd eat the duck on the way back.
He's the
and I'd
size
be
of a walrus, really.
My
I'm going to have
God.
to get a picture sometime and put him on
You're
the show.
going to have to because he laid. He's outgrowing his basket that he's had for 10 years.
Yeah.
Because he's getting older and lazier, and now he's like got to throw himself across
Looks
the
like
floor.
a bear laying on like a bear rug.
Like a bear rug.
Yeah.
He
Maybe
does.
that's what we should do with him when he goes someday.
I think we should stuff
Turn him
him.
into a bear rug.
He's so damn cute.
Yeah.
I'd hate to see him go.
Yeah.
So, all
I
right.
keep stuffing myself. Don't worry about stuffing me. If my cat could talk.
If my cat could talk,
Yeah.
who would listen? All right. Is there anything else we need to go
I think
over?
that's pretty much it for this week.
Yeah, my son turns 20 on Monday,
Happy
the 16th.
birthday
To you.
to you. It's going to be 20.
20.
I'm going to die.
You're not. You're not. You got to stop saying that.
So old.
I know.
That's the problem.
It is the problem. That's life.
Yeah.
Life just keeps going. And some people don't even realize how old they are.
Yeah.
And I have anxiety being this old.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, Jack has anxiety being 20.
He does.
That's because time is just
Keeps on ticking.
ticking into
the future. Wow, are we annoying anybody? I'm sure many people have turned off by this point.
I'm sure they have. That's why we're going to hold the personal talk
life is
till
gonna
the
be
end.
So if you want to
Yeah.
tune out,
So if you guys ever want to tune out after my picks, feel free.
Yeah.
Although we sometimes do come up with extra stuff to throw in there, but most of this is going to be a personal sign off.
yeah.
So you know what though?
Okay.
Let's give him a personal sign off.
Okay, let's go
Okay,
personal.
wash your hands.
Wipe your butt.
Wipe your butt. Wash your
Clean your
hands.
ears.
Clean your ears. Do your research. Don't trust what everybody says out there.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get into it.
What are you talking about?
I'm not going to talk about anything. You've really improved the TFG.
Well,
You've improved on the TFG there, the former guy.
Yeah.
Just please don't trust what everybody says in this day and age.
Yeah.
You've got to do your own research. Everybody,
We're in like the age of research and everyone's stupider.
you're exactly right.
We have the internet at our disposal. Not that everything, a lot of the internet is bad, but most of the internet is pretty good. You can find some really good,
You sure
reliable
can.
sites
Reliable
on news
sources.
or
Find
or-
reliable sources.
It's out there.
Right, but anybody can create a website and pretend that they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Look at what we do.
Yeah.
We pretend that Cliff Daniels is Kyle Busch's crew chief.
I told you.
That was wrong.
I told you.
Nobody fact checked. Well, no, I think they did
He's
fact
the
check.
greatest.
Suddenly. So,
I would have been great at NASCAR.
you know what?
I would have won every race.
You know what?
Hey, we're not getting political here. I
We're
just like
not.
doing the joke.
I know you like doing the
I like
voice.
doing voices.
You like doing that because it's easy to.
And I can't do Kamala. I can't do
Right.
her voice. I don't.
Well,
Yeah.
she doesn't really have a
Yeah.
voice. She's just like
Yeah. It's a little. It's like her voice is a little like Hillary and
Right.
Obama together.
Oh, right.
Right.
'Cause
sometimes like when I was listening to her the other night, she sounded a little bit like Obama.
Yeah.
And then I was like, but then there were hints of Hillary in there because we watched Dana Carvey do Hillary
Yes,
a
we do
thousand
watch.
times. So it's
Exactly.
like I was like, oh, maybe there's a way to blend it. I'll work on that, people.
Right,
So,
because you can't do, and Joe was hard to do too. 'Cause
Yeah.
He's just like, look, Jack,
Yeah.
when I was back in Delaware and I can't even, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, because some people are hard to do, but some people have a voice that you can just, boom, and that's fun.
Yeah.
And I don't care who they are. It's just fun to do.
It is.
Because John and I are suckers for the laugh.
We are.
Suckers.
We will laugh at the most horrible things. We're surprised we didn't laugh at September 11th today.
We will say the most
Yeah.
horrible things too to make each
But
other
that's
laugh.
like our coping mechanism.
And it is our coping mechanism.
We just laugh.
And some people get mad, and I'm like, sorry.
Yeah.
And then other people are just like, hey, that's funny.
You guys are crazy.
You guys are crazy, but whatever. So but we try to keep it clean
Yep.
for this show.
We do.
But that's my whole point.
Yeah.
Do your research.
Yeah.
Don't trust no one. What's that? The X-Files? Trust no one.
Yeah.
Because that's what
Is
that's
it the X-Files?
I think it is,
Yeah, I think
right?
it is X-Files.
That's the day and age we're living in.
Yeah.
Don't even trust me.
No.
Well,
Double-
I'm pretty trustworthy.
Double check though.
I'm pretty honest. Okay, so I'm
All
gonna go. We're gonna go.
Yes.
We're gonna go. I
We
gotta
gotta
make
go.
dinner. So you know what? Everybody have a great week. Enjoy this week, the middle of September.
Yeah.
Next time I see you guys, we're gonna be heading on the other side of September.
Yeah.
Heading to October. Pumpkins are out. We already have the pumpkin creamer.
Yep.
John loves his pumpkin creamer and his decaf
right
coffee.
now I can't get enough pumpkin anything, everything.
He can't.
I love pumpkin everything.
I made gluten-free pumpkin donuts.
Yeah, I eat those.
Delicious. Yes, they're delicious. So enjoy the pumpkin.
Yeah.
Why not?
It's the time of year.
Because you know what? Before you know it, it's gonna be Christmas, and then it's gonna be Easter.
Then pumpkin's gone.
And pumpkin's gone, and then all of a sudden we're like looking at the Indy 500.
Yeah.
So that's how fast this goes. Okay.
So enjoy it.
So enjoy it every minute of your week, folks.
Yep.
I love you, and I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic time and life. Okay. Stay healthy.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Stay healthy, stay safe, and race on.
Race on.